Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is not just a horror film, it's a meticulously crafted nightmare, a labyrinth of psychological terror and symbolic depth that continues to haunt audiences decades after its release. Adapted from Stephen King's novel but transformed into something entirely Kubrickian, The Shining is a film that rewards endless analysis, from its hypnotic cinematography to its unsettling ambiguity. We will dissect Kubrick's masterpiece in four parts: the slow descent into madness, the supernatural and the uncanny, the film's visual and auditory genius, and its lingering mysteries. Buckle up. We're going deep into the Overlook.
Here's Johnny!
The slow descent into madness. Jack Torrance's unraveling. At its core, The Shining is a chilling study of isolation and insanity, with Jack Torrance's transformation from a struggling writer and recovering alcoholic into a homicidal maniac serving as the film's horrifying backbone. Kubrick doesn't rely on cheap jump scares. Instead, he constructs Jack's breakdown through subtle, escalating dread. The Overlook doesn't just drive Jack mad, it reveals the madness that was always lurking beneath his surface. Consider the famous typewriter scene. The repetitive, almost mechanical clacking of keys mirrors Jack's deteriorating mental state, his work devolving into a single deranged sentence. His conversations with the ghostly bartender Lloyd and the spectral Delbert Grady aren't just supernatural encounters. They're manifestations of his own subconscious, his buried resentments and violent tendencies given voice. Even before the supernatural fully intrudes, Jack's interactions with Wendy and Danny are laced with passive-aggressive hostility, his fake smiles barely concealing his contempt. Kubrick's genius lies in making us question, is Jack possessed, or is the hotel simply showing him who he truly is? The horror isn't just in the axe murders. It's in the terrifying plausibility of a man's mind coming apart at the seams.
Mom!
The supernatural and the uncanny. Is the Overlook really haunted? One of The Shining's most fascinating aspects is its refusal to clearly define the rules of its horror. Is the Overlook truly haunted, or are its inhabitants projecting their own fears onto its empty halls? The film is packed with supernatural occurrences: Danny's visions of the Grady twins, the spectral ballroom party, the impossible geography of the hotel, but Kubrick frames them with such eerie ambiguity that they feel less like traditional ghost sightings and more like manifestations of psychological trauma. Take room 237. The decaying woman inside could be a literal ghost, but she also mirrors Jack's repressed misogyny and sexual guilt, a monstrous embodiment of his own twisted desires. Even Danny's shining ability blurs the line between psychic power and the imagination of a traumatized child. Kubrick plays with the uncanny, the familiar made horrifying throughout the film, from the twins' synchronized voices to the sudden appearance of ghosts in broad daylight. The Overlook doesn't follow the rules of a typical haunted house. It operates on nightmare logic, where time, space, and identity are fluid. This ambiguity is what makes the horror linger, because we're never quite sure what's real. Visual and auditory genius. Kubrick's hypnotic craftsmanship. Every frame of The Shining is a testament to Kubrick's obsessive perfectionism, with the film's visual and auditory techniques working in unison to create an atmosphere of unbearable tension. The Steadicam glides through the Overlook's halls like a ghost itself, turning the hotel into an inescapable maze, a physical representation of Jack's spiraling psyche. Kubrick's symmetrical compositions, from the twin sisters to the endless carpet patterns, create a sense of artificial order that feels wrong, as if the hotel is a carefully constructed trap. Then there's the sound design, the deafening silence of empty corridors, the dissonant shrieks of Christoph Penderecki's score, and, most famously, Wendy's blood-curdling scream as she discovers Jack's manuscript. Even the absence of sound is weaponized. The long stretches of quiet make the sudden bursts of violence all the more jarring. Kubrick's use of color is equally masterful. The cold blues and oppressive yellows of the hotel contrast with the shocking red of the blood-filled elevator, a visual punch that sears into the viewer's mind. Every technical choice serves the film's oppressive mood, ensuring that The Shining isn't just watched. It's experienced as a visceral, suffocating nightmare.
You can't get away!
Lingering mysteries, the endless interpretations of The Shining. Decades after its release, The Shining remains a puzzle box of hidden meanings and theories. Why does the final photograph suggest Jack was always part of the Overlook? Is the hotel a metaphor for the genocide of Native Americans, as the Calumet baking powder and dialogue about white man's burden imply? Or is it a commentary on the cyclical nature of abuse, with Danny's fate hinted at by the ending's chilling Doc callback? Kubrick, ever the enigma, leaves these questions unanswered, inviting endless analysis. Even the maze, both literal and metaphorical, serves as a symbol for the film itself. The deeper you go, the more lost you become. The Shining resists a single interpretation because its horror is multifaceted, psychological, supernatural, historical, and existential, all at once. It's a film that demands rewatches, not just to spot hidden details, like the impossible window in Ullman's office, but to confront its unsettling questions anew. In an age of disposable horror, The Shining endures because it's not just about scares, it's about the terror of the unknown, the fragility of sanity, and the ghosts that refuse to stay buried. Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is a film that transcends its genre, a work of art that continues to unsettle, fascinate, and inspire debate. Whether you see it as a ghost story, a psychological thriller, or a coded historical allegory, its power is undeniable. It's a film that lingers in the eerie stillness of its corridors, in the echoes of its screams, and in the haunting final image of Jack Torrance, forever trapped in the Overlook's grasp. Decades later, we're still trying to find our way out of its maze. Thanks for watching, and remember, some places are like people. Some shine and some don't.